Hello, my name is Jay and welcome back to my Tech Vault. And today we've got an interesting topic to talk about. So a lot of the comments I've been getting recently, especially with the large sum of different PC builds under $100, especially a lot of these really insanely cheap PC builds, like this one back here for example, it was like 10 bucks. Good video by the way, pretty dang impressive, equivalent to like a 1050 and like a low-end Ryzen. It's a pretty powerful system for 10 bucks. So basically, a lot of people have been asking, where am I getting this hardware? How can I get something for myself? And while I can't give you exact specifics on, like, specifically if you wanted a graphics card, a GTX 10, I don't know, 1050, I'm going to try to do my best to kind of show you guys some of the sources I look for, places I go looking, so that way you have a much higher chance of finding something interesting. Because the thing about the way this stuff kind of works is you roll a dice every time you go looking for stuff, especially because I do a lot of yard selling. And you roll a dice, and either what you saw online was really good, and you roll the dice, and it may not be really good, and you just get like some power cables or something like that, or it may be an insanely good deal that you get, and you roll the dice that way, and it's a really good deal. And so not every time is going to be perfect. You're not going to always get something good. For example, the system that I actually have, I believe down here, is a yard sale PC. The case was 10 bucks. The whole system in there was like 10 bucks. And the power supply was 10 bucks. So it's like a lot of different parts that I got from a lot of different places. Sorry. And basically what you're kind of supposed to do is kind of be patient, because that PC itself took about a year to get all those parts. And I'm not saying yours will take a year, because I got this system, a whole system for like 25, a whole system plus a huge sum of parts for 25 bucks. So it's not like, it just really depends on how good your roll is, I guess. And obviously, it's a lot about making sure that you do your research ahead of time, because if you go for every yard sale that you can find, you're not going to be looking at this. So I'm going to kind of give you a little bit of the background information. So there's an app, I believe it's called Yard Sale Treasure Map, I believe. That's what I have on my phone. And it's a nice little app because it allows you to search through all the yard sale listings on Craigslist. And by the way, I'm not sponsored in this video, so this is like a plain out honest video. So basically, this app allows you to like go through and select all the different stuff. So you can see like, hey, if you want graphics card, you search for all the apps on graphics card or all the listings for, and then if it sees graphics card, it will make it a different color. Or same for computer. And so in the past, I don't even go to a yard sale if it doesn't have computer in the thing. So you can basically have, like, I have computer set to green. And if a green little listing pops up, it will show it on the map. It will show me how far away it is. And basically, you look through the listing, and sometimes they'll say like computer or computers, or you have to really get keen on the way that things are worded. So for example, the best yard sale find that I've ever had was a huge like sum of parts, a massive amount of decent gold-rated power supplies, modular gold-rated power supplies, multiple graphics cards, this system back here, all for 25 bucks. And that was by far the best deal that I've ever gotten. And that was really, as I said, a big gamble on whether or not it would be good. So when I was looking at the listing, it had a lot of interesting things in the wording. So for example, it said the guy had the 650 watt gold power supply for 15 bucks. And that was, of course, it was specifically worded out, it was detailed, and the person obviously knew what they were doing. Well, also, the other thing though is they said that they had multiple graphics cards. So, not necessarily that they had a single graphics card, but they had multiple graphics cards. So, that really made me curious on the fact that if they're having multiple sets of parts, maybe they'll have some other stuff too. Maybe this person knows what they're doing. And so I went there, and obviously this guy had a lot of stuff, and it was a really good deal. In the past, though, I've had some other things where I'd just be doing random yard selling. It's not listed anywhere. There's no keywords or anything that I searched for, and I'd actually end up getting something like a graphics card, like a GTX 660 or something, a little bit less than a 1050, and that was a pretty good deal for 10 bucks. I'm not gonna lie. But the best trick by far is just to make sure that you avoid places that are like office sales, or places that are like, I don't know, maybe someone's cleaning out their office and they're buying a new PC. Maybe it's a pre-built, maybe a Dell system or something, and maybe it's pre-built and they went through and they trashed it and got a new one. Those systems are not going to have a decent power supply. It's basically all the things you get with the pre-built. It's not really worth your time if you're into trying to build something that's going to be for gaming. I mean, obviously, if you find something with an i5 that they're going to sell you for like $5-10, then that might be an exception. But usually when people buy these pre-builts, the pre-builts, they want to sell them for at least $30. And $30 for a pre-built, when you can get something, well, not really can, but you're likely to find something that's equivalent of this back here, that's got a lot of, an i5, a good graphics card, Radeon 270, all that stuff for $10. And then you can sell all the other $15 worth of stuff. That's going to be a lot more worth your time, because those pre-builts, and even if they're going to want to bargain, and they're going to want to basically get the most out of their money, because they put a lot of money into their pre-built and they don't really know what they're talking about. So basically the best way to do this is just look for the listings that have people that know what they're doing. They have their parts somewhat spec'd out. They know what they're talking about. They know what the ratings and everything are on the power supplies, or know what all their graphics cards are. That's really worth your time. And also if they have a large amount. Usually people that have a large amount are kind of willing to bargain if you buy a little bit in bulk. So for example, if you buy a little bit of everything, if you buy everything there, they're much more likely to give you like a 25. I should say they're more likely to kind of give you a nice discount, and then you can sell that other stuff back, and sometimes you actually usually make your money back, and therefore you can pretty much refill your money and of course buy something pretty much relatively free. So I hope that answered people's questions about a lot of the stuff where I get my parts from. There are a couple other methods, like there are some recycling stores, there are some people that just resell and recycle, and those people really are, well, they're more likely to nickel and dime you for those parts, because the margins are really low, and they're not going to be able to go through and sell them at a higher cost. Sometimes they get donated, and then they might be a little bit more likely to sell you cheaper. But those people usually, those kind of recycle stores, know what they're talking about, know what the hardware is worth, and they're not going to give you any deals. What you're really looking for is those people that are just kind of cleaning out, and they have some nice setup that they're trying, or they had some old systems that they're just trying to get rid of. Maybe they're moving, maybe they're trying to clean out their office, something like that, and they just have a bunch of extra stuff they don't really need. They think computer parts have completely gone worthless, and they just kind of give it to you for relatively really cheap. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, of course, give the video a thumbs up. I hope someone may find something pretty good. I mean, heck, I got this thing. I mean, it's a GTX 570, but I mean, the backplate on itself is pretty cool. But of course, thank you very much for watching. Check out my channel for other cool tech-related news, videos, reviews, builds, etc., and budget PCs. And thank you. Goodbye.